through the hips. Let's just make sure, there we go. We are going live. So if you're joining on the social media platforms, good morning, welcome to our Wednesday morning session where we focus a little bit more on functional movement. Remember, it doesn't have to be all hard work, all exercise. It's about moving functionally. Sorry, Instagram. Oh, Instagram never goes live. It's really sort of like delayed. So we should now be live on Instagram. Julie's joining. Christine's joining on Zoom. Let's start off with our spine mobilization. So feet shoulder width apart, supported through the ground. Remember to get that connection through the ground. And everything we do today, remember that your movement starts from the center. So if we're thinking about where your belly button is, you've got about 3 fingers down below the belly button. Think about this as the engine, the driving point, the energy center. So we're moving that center and we get it in that connection through the ground. So nice and strong through the legs. And we have that little bit of softness in the ankles, in the knees, in the hips, just so that you can get that rotation, so we're not blocking anything there. And then light and lifted through the crown of the head, lengthening up. It's almost like you're lengthening up towards the sky through the crown of the head. Simple visualization from Qigong is connecting to the earth, so through the feet, and then connecting to the sky through the crown of the head. Keeps you tall, keeps you long. And Barbara's here. Good to see you. And just breathing softly, lightly in and out through the nose. Not trying to breathe in any particular way. So remember, grounded, stable, strong through the lower body. Light and lifted through the spine and through the upper body. Really just relaxing the shoulders, relaxing between the shoulder blades. You're not having to do any work with that upper body. It's just following the drive from that center. And now we're just going to slow this down, and it's like moving into slow motion. So we're adding very little bit of resistance there. Slow, slow, slow. Still moving from the center, still driving from the hips and the waist. Still lifting tall through the spine, lifting through the crown of the head, keeping the back of the neck long. See if we can lengthen the breath and slow the movement. So breathing softly in and out through the nose, hardly any air flowing in and out through the nose, but still feeling calm and relaxed. It's not about restricting anything. Take a rest. Stand tall. Let's just bring our feet hip width And a little reminder of where our center of gravity is, because we're going to be using this with our movement today, is remember 3 fingers down from the belly button, just about in towards the spine. And I just want you to do some gentle moving that point forwards and backwards. So I'm going to show you from the side. So if we're moving that point forwards and backwards, you'll see the whole body shifts forwards, the whole body shifts backwards. I'm not leaning back or leaning forwards or pushing this part forwards. Have that connection, ground, sky, just gently rock forwards and backwards. You'll feel the weight coming to the heels a little bit, weight coming toward the ball of the foot a little bit. Gentle, gentle movement. And then find the sweet spot where you just balance, where everything is still. And then we can step out to shoulder width apart. We're going to do a little bit of a spine roll now. So you lead actually with the chin and the chest, and then we do a roll down, and then you come back up, so roll back up. So chin in the chest, roll down, roll back up. Just a gentle movement. I'm going to show you from the side again. So we've got that focus on the center, but we're leading with the chin in the chest. Roll down, just a little movement. It's not forcing anything. And when we lead with the chin in the chest, remember to open up here in that thoracic spine. I'm not keeping this down and then just pulling my head forward, because otherwise we get a bit too much compression there. So it's really opening the chest, rolling down, and then rolling back up, nice and gentle. If you've got any pain in the neck, in the hips, or if anything hurts, we stop. This is not about forcing anything. It's getting some fluid movement going. And you have that little bit of bend in the knees. You can drop a little bit lower in the knees. You can take the hips back a little bit. It's a bit like the full body flow that we've done previously, but it's just a slightly smaller movement. It's a nice one just to get that spine rippling and waving. And it's always being aware of where that center of gravity is, and that center of gravity will change however we move the body, but it's just making sure that you're balanced, that you don't overreach. Should feel good. It shouldn't feel as if you're forcing anything. And as I say, if you have any pain or any injuries, then you just stop. It's not about pushing through pain. There's quite a few articles out there now talking about slow movement, the benefits of slow movement, the benefits of slow exercise. We've been doing it for years. Good, have a little shake out. And then we'll do dog wags the tail. So we've done extension and flexion. We're just going to shift the weight side to side. And again, what we're aiming for is that spine wave, that ripple of the spine. Getting the blood flowing, getting the lymphatic drainage. And also, anecdotally, I'm sure we're getting some stimulation of the vagus nerve, because we're getting that movement side to side. The vagus nerve starts in the neck, and there's quite a few exercises where you're doing neck exercises to help to activate, innervate that vagus nerve, which runs all the way through the lungs, diaphragm, all the major organs, and that's the main nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and recovery. It's what, when we're doing like humming and slowing the breath, all of this is sending that signal through the vagus nerve to the brain, just to say, yeah, everything's fine, we're all cool, everything's safe. And it helps us relax. Good. And then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Always, 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 as I say, each of the sessions that we do, is I always start off with this work on the spine, this mobilization of the spine before anything else that we do. So we're doing rotation there. We're doing a little bit of flexion and extension as we're doing that little wave, and then we're doing that lateral, that side to side movement, that lateral flexion of the spine. We're going to come into the hips now a little bit and work a little bit of balance in terms of the hips. So we're going to take our feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, bend the knees a little bit, and we're going to isolate the pelvis. So we're going to tilt the pelvis to the side and then tilt the pelvis. So you're spilling out the front and then tilt the pelvis to the other side and then come round and tuck the tailbone underneath. So we get this nice belly dancing move of the pelvis. So see if you can keep that upper body tall and pretty stable, and then just get that pelvis moving. So getting the hips, think about the hip bones, the leg bones in top of the hips working. A little bit of gyration going on for a Wednesday morning. Circling. Remember, it's nice and smooth. Keep that smooth movement. So you're tilting side, front, side, back. Let's see if we can just isolate. I know we can never completely isolate, and we don't want to just isolate particular parts of the body solely because the whole body's working together. But see if you can just really focus on getting that mobility and movement through the pelvis. And we're going to change direction if you haven't already changed direction. And that's weird because you always start off in the way that feels comfortable, and then we change direction and go, oh, that feels a bit clunky maybe. So just circling. So keeping that upper body tall, keeping strong with the legs, lower body. Good. And then just take a rest. Shake your legs out a little bit. Should feel good in the hips. And then we're going to go a little bit wider. So let's go wide, slight turn out. This is a really difficult one to demonstrate because actually you don't want to be seeing much. So we're doing exactly the same, but we're going wide. So you imagine you're doing this with a tailbone now. So imagine you're drawing a circle with the tailbone. So you're taking the tailbone to the right, back, left, and then tucking under. This is really nice on the thighs. Make sure that the knees aren't dropping in or anything like that, but the knees are going over the toes. And again, it's not forcing anything. Never think of forcing a stretch or forcing a movement or overstretching or overreaching, because if we push too much, the body just tightens up. Same with the mind. If we think too much, everything just tightens up. So just ease into it. Think about encouraging the fascia in the pelvic floor, in the hips and everything, just to lengthen under that load. You're putting a nice load on it and you're just lengthening everything out there. So circling in one direction. And then when you're ready, circling in the opposite direction. I always find with this one is sometimes I can be clenching a little bit too much with the toes or with the feet. So again, maybe you just want to check in with what you're doing with the rest of the body. Are you clenching? Are you tightening your jaw? Just focus on that circle of the tailbone. Let's do a couple more. And then straighten the legs. Walk back in safely. That should feel again nice on the hips. So we're going to continue with the work on the hips and we're going to add that little bit of balance to it, which is quite good. So I want you to stabilize on your right side. I'm going to mirror you. Use the two tigers. Remember the idea of the two tigers. If you're just balancing and you've got your hands on two tigers, you're not going to do that because they're going to bite your hands off. But you're not just going to flop around. So two tigers, balance on that right leg, and we're just going to swing, gently swing that left leg, free up this left hip, Gently swing it back. So it's almost like you've got a string on the heel of that left leg, and that string is just gently pulling it back. Take it nice and easy. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. It's very easy. Just go, hold the breath. So just breathe through it. Remember, with balance, the trick is always to think about the upper body and lift tall rather than worry about balancing on one side. So keep that upper body tall. Use your arms to stabilize. Gentle swing. So this is free. This leg is just gently swinging like a pendulum. You don't have to do loads of work with it. Free up that swing leg. And then take a rest. Balance in between so you've got the weight on both legs. And of course, if it's a real struggle and you're wobbling all over the place, just use something I haven't got a table here, or a wall. So because think of the purpose of the exercise is to free up this swing leg. Yeah, it's great if you can balance with that, but if it's a real struggle, start off just by resting on a table or on a wall to get that balance first. But obviously we want to be able to get to a stage where we get in double whammy. You're getting that balance, but you're also getting that opening up of the hip. So we go on the other side now. Balance on your left leg. A couple of tigers if you need your tigers. And then just imagine you've got a string on the heel. Be careful there's nothing behind you. So I don't want you kicking and banging your heel on anything. I did this once in the studio and there was a kettlebell behind me and I just really whacked my heel on a kettlebell, which didn't feel very good. So obviously make sure you're safe, balance. And don't worry if you are wobbling and stuff like that. It's all good. It's all getting those neurons firing in the brain. Remember when we're doing bamboo in the wind and things at the end of each session, it's all about strength and flexibility. So we want to be able to be strong, but if we just lock everything up, we're going to wobble over. So it's about finding where we need to be strong, where we can be flexible, soft and flexible. So stable, supporting leg, and then that empty leg almost. It's just gently swinging. It's like swinging in the breeze like a pendulum. You may start to feel this hip or these hip muscles really starting to work. And then you know that's great. And take a rest, shaking out the legs. Always nice just to take that moment just to stand and balance. See what it feels like. We'll go back to the right leg. Balance on the right leg. Remember, stabilize first. Use your arms. And then we're just going to swing across the body. So this puts a force across the body. So structurally, we have to stabilize in a different way because we've got that force going across the body. So freeing up that swing leg. Nice and strong through the balance leg. Breathing easy. See if we can relax into the shoulders a little bit. Keeping tall through the spine. Again, if anything's hurting you, stop. It's not about pushing. It's not about counting reps. And take a rest. Shake out anything that you need to shake out at all. Let the breath settle. And then we'll go to the other side. Balance, stabilize, swing across. So it's almost like this leg is just free, it's just swinging, it's just a pendulum. You don't have to do loads of work to move this leg. The work, the strength is going on down that side where you're stabilizing. This is just free, nice and free. See if you can relax the arms a little bit, that we're not holding lots of tension in the arms. Keep tall, keep lifting from the crown. And take a rest and shake out. Have a little walk around actually, because now we've done a lot of work at the hips. Obviously, you've got a little bit of space. Just have a little walk around, walk forwards and backwards, maybe step side to side, and just see how that feels. See if you feel as if you've created a little bit of space in the hips there. Everybody ready for your run after this, hopefully. Okay, we'll do one more with the hips. We're going to balance again. We're going to come back to that right leg, and then we're just going to swing across. One of my favorite ones, this. So we're swapping side to side, balance, swing, balance. And see if we can really keep that upper body strong, 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 strong. So we're taking the force from the leg swing. The force from the leg swing isn't pulling us all over the place. We're absorbing that force, if you like, through the whole body. So tall and strong through the spine. You might be getting some clicks and clunks. Keep that spine long. Couple more. And then shake out. Take a rest, letting your breath settle. We'll do a couple more exercises with spine, hips, and balance. I like these. So I'm going to come a little bit further forward. Make sure you've got space behind you that you can step back. So make sure you're not going to step back and fall on anything. And actually, I'll step back so you can see. First of all, we're going to do down to the ground, up to the sky. We've done this in our Qigong movements, earth and sky. So you're lengthening out the spine there. We've got that little bit of roundedness at the top of the elbow here. If the side that you're opening up here on the ribs, that side you are going to step back with. So we're actually opening up that side and we're opening up the hip. And we're going to let that hip drop slightly to the side. We're going to push through with that lower arm. We're going to push over with that upper arm. So we get that nice squeezing of an orange there, leaning over, breathing, and then we're going to come back to center, and then we're going to swap. So as you step forward, you swap, earth and sky, lengthen first, step back first, then let this hip free up a little bit, push through, push over. You can let that head go a little bit. We're not letting the head fall, but the head's going with the movement. Good. And then come back to center and just keep repeating that. Lengthen first, key to lengthen. Step back and stabilize. Let that hip go a little bit, push through, reach over. And then in your own time, step, balance, keeping that breathing rhythmical. And this is nice because it's a bit more challenging in balancing and stuff, but it's keeping within your own comfortable space, that we're not forcing anything. And we'll know we're not forcing if we can keep that breath steady. Keep the breath steady. I'm walking further and further forwards. I'm going to be right in front of the camera in a minute, frightening you all. And you may find, as I do, one side seems to just give very nicely. The other side, there's a few little blockages. So what is nice about doing this slowly and not rushing, taking your time, is you can feel those little places where there might be a little bit of a blockage. You can maybe lean into them a little bit. You can maybe breathe into them a little bit. Let's do one more each side. Lengthen. And come back up to standing. I really like that one because we're almost like combining all of that spine rotation, and we're adding that strength there. So the spine is rotating, it's lengthening, and we've also got that lateral flexion as well. And you've also got the whole balance going on. So great all-rounder there. Let's do a little bit of shaking. So just using the legs as pumps, using the arms as pumps, and then just tapping the heels gently in the ground if that's comfortable for you, freeing up the shoulders, getting that vibration going in the voice. Again, that's helping with innervation of the vagus nerve. So let's do some humming. So let's do a breath in and just creating vibration. You might want to do a higher tone up here. You want to might go lower here, feel chest. And then we might want to slow down, open up the shoulders. Oh, that feels good. Let that breath settle. Slow the breath. Calmly slow the breath. Pulling down the heavens, breathing in, breathing out. Soft, gentle breaths, in and out through the nose. In, breath out. Bringing your hands just to rest, just on that lower dantian, that point where we were focusing on our driver, our engine, our energy center. Bringing your feet together, just closing your eyes just for a moment of bamboo in the wind. The idea of the combination of strength and grace, flexibility, softness is what builds resilience. Bamboo in the wind. Taking a full breath now, in through the nose, opening your eyes, stepping out, just giving yourself a gentle brush down, thanking your body for all its hard work this morning, and hopefully set up for the rest of the day. I'm off for my little run now before my 10 o'clock session and my coffee. I will see you all on Monday. If you're online, if you're on socials, I'm not here on Wednesday. There won't be a session next Wednesday. There will be a session on Monday. For the Zoom group, there will be a session on Wednesday, but it won't be with me. I think it will be with Alice, but I'll confirm that out via email. Thanks. It's great to see you all. Thanks for your time, and I will see you all very soon. Have a good day. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.